Hi Stampers, I want to welcome you to Tuesday's Tips, Techniques, and Trends Made Simple. These are being brought to you by Judy Anderson from judystamps.com. Kind of need to excuse my papers today because I got a new camera and I'm not quite sure with the program on how to edit it. So it's a first time run with no editing, and unfortunately you won't have any measurements, but for today's tips you really don't need measurements. Now I've done several events lately and have gotten several requests from guests at these events to do a video on how to assemble your clear mount stamps from Stampin' Up. This might seem really simple to you, but I have a trick or two up my sleeve to show you how that you can mount these and not get too upset when you mount it on there and it's not quite straight, so you have to try to peel it up and the foam comes with it. Well, today's tips and tricks will teach you how to do it the right way. Now when you get your stamps from Stampin' Up, your clear mount stamps, they come in a case like this. It's a plastic case. You've got an index on the front which shows you all the stamps that are in the stamp set. In addition, it'll tell you how many stamps come in that particular set. This is 1 in a million, and in this one there's 10 stamps that come with it. Also, depending on how you store your stamps, we do have an index on the side that tells you the stamp set and what's in it. So, once you open this up, you'll see that it does give you instructions on how to do it. The instructions do tell you to take off the label and then just put off the index, or the little sticky thing or sticker as some people call it, that goes on your stamp so you can see how to stamp it when you're stamping it, which way's right side up, etc., etc. Now you'll notice that some of these are already assembled. That's because I've been using this set to show people how to assemble it. So you get your sheet of rubber stamps here, and then you will also get your indexes. Now, once again, I've mounted several of these, so several of them are missing. I've got 2 left to mount, and I'll mount both of those today for you. We're going to put the case to the side. Now, when you get these, they are die cut around them, but you will notice that in a couple places they are still attached. I'm going to try to show you that here. See where it's attached there? Now you should be able to just pop that up. If it doesn't just pop up for you, what I recommend you doing is taking your craft and rubber scissors and just snip the rubber a little bit, because you don't want to tear your stamp. In most cases though, they do come right off. I'm going to pop that one off like that, pop that one off, and then we have this one here. And you can see they just pop right out for you. Now what I do is I stick them back into this. This helps mounting your index a little bit easier. And I am going to turn it over now, and I can tell which ones I still need to mount. This one here, and I'm going to peel this little protective coating off, or sheet off. You will notice that you now have your foam exposed and it's not really sticky. Don't touch this a lot because the oils from your hands do get onto this. It doesn't prevent it from sticking, however, your index from sticking, however, I find sometimes the fingerprints show up. I'm going to find the coordinating index, and this one says that makes you 1 in a million. I'm going to turn this just to help me mount it a little bit easier. I am right-handed, so I like to start from the right and go to the left when I mount my stamps. So you will notice that in the back of your index, it's split. And I'm going to see if I can get this up to the camera. See how it's split there? I peel off only 1/2 of this. And see how this starts to tear a little bit? Avoid tearing that all the way, because if you kind of tear it around, that way you'll get the whole protective part off. Okay, now this is the trick. I only peel half of that off. And the reason being is if you peel it all off, like it does say in the instructions to do, and you mount this on there, this is sticky, you get it on crooked, and people call me all the time, I'm having to trim it, I didn't get it on straight, now what do I do? Because half of it's, you know, if you mount it off a little bit, then this part here won't stick to your acrylic block. So what I do is take this part that has the protective coating still on it, I line it up, and this is why I leave it in this sheet, because it's a little bit easier to line it up in here. You don't have to, but I just find it easier. That's lined up. So then I'll put that down and I'll press from the center out. Now that's the left side that you've got that layer peeled off. Now you're going to unpeel the rest of it. From the center out, just kind of tap it, and it's voila, and this is attached to your rubber stamp. Okay, I'm going to do this last one here. This one is a little bit easier. Now, both of these have odd shapes, but sometimes you've got a similar shape on both sides, so you do want to make sure that which way you have your stamp so that your label's on correctly. I usually turn them so the top of the stamp is away from me. It's just easier to remember when I go to mount these. Real simple now. I mount from left to right. So I'm going to be peeling off this left half once again, peeling it off very simply, lining up all my jagged edges, pressing down, left half is mounted, finish peeling off that label. Now what do you think? Just think of how many times you've put your indexes on and they've stuck, and you've had to try to peel it off. Oh, I get calls, like I said, all the time with people that haven't been to one of my workshops and learned my way, my little tricks. Now, another little trick I do, because I'm a demonstrator and I do use my stamps quite often in workshop settings, any different events, I want to make sure not only that I have 10 stamps in there, but I have the correct ones. So I peel this off. And just like this, and luckily I have them all mounted, because I don't do this until I have them all mounted. I usually just peel part of it off to show everybody how to do this. And I just peel that off, and then what I do is I flip it over and I just gently press down so it stays in there. This way, once again, when I leave my events or my workshops, I know that I have all my stamps because I put them all back in here. And if one is missing, I know I have to go, you know, start searching in my bags for that stamp. So I hope you enjoyed today's tips, techniques, and trends made simple. And we'll see you again next Tuesday. Thank you, and bye-bye.